Everybody, this is Vic Mars, and you're watching TMS TV.
It is the mighty Led Zeppelin right there with the Immigrant Song from the Zeppelin 3 release. That one going out by request to Jackal in the chat room. And just before that, we heard a artist by the name of Lawrence Jones. Are you familiar with him?
Lawrence Jones? No, I'm not. I did not know that song, nor did I know that know that name.
Well, for Skippy in the chat room, he wanted to hear Lawrence Jones with Lonely Road.
I wonder if it's a friend of Skippy's.
No, he's a legit artist. I don't know. Hard to say.
He could be a friend and a legit artist.
Well, I don't think our fans have legit artist friends.
That could be true.
Just being funny.
I don't.
And we heard Ghost with Ritual going out by request to Jim Baldoff. And of course, we heard the new Black Crowes for Sidney Ralston. So,
what do you think of that?
It sounded like Jealous Again.
That's exactly what I said in the locals earlier this week.
Yeah, I thought it was. It almost sounded like a remake of Jealous Again.
Yeah, a little bit faster, but it's the same song.
It is,
which good with me.
Yeah, I mean that was obviously their most popular songs or albums. The first two albums were their two most popular.
Yeah,
from a commercial standpoint.
Mm-hmm. Do you like the other stuff or not?
Some of it's okay. I mean, it got a little too trippy there, too weed induced for me.
Yeah, some of the stuff at the end, and then when he went into his New Earth Mud era and his solo stuff, Chris Robinson.
Yeah,
that stuff got a little bit, even for me who loves his weed. I still couldn't listen to a whole lot of that stuff. It was a little too much.
It just didn't resonate with me.
Yeah, it was too Grateful Dead.
Yeah, it's jam band stuff, whatever you want to call it. But from a commercial release, Shake Your Money Maker and Harmony and Companion and even Amorica, those were all pretty damn good records.
Sure. I mean, I've liked them all, but they've gotten increasingly less likable.
Yeah.
Like, I'll tell you which one I do like that's more recent, though. The acoustic one, Crowology.
Okay.
I love that. I play that all the time. I like the version of soul singing that they do on that one is just fucking amazing. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's just that, once they kind of got to the point to where they were left to their own devices. Mm-hmm. They weren't a slave to the record label, and we got to churn out hits and things like that. That's when they started going off on their own little experimental path. Yeah.
They had their Beatles Blue album phase, Blue Greatest Hits phase.
I remember. I remember going to see the Black Crowes. I'm trying to remember where it was that I went to see them, and that was one of those tours that they played none of their hits. None of them.
See, that stinks.
And it was just like they didn't play one of their hits, not even one.
See, that's just stealing money from your fans.
Yeah. So, I was a little disappointed with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's even if you do it the Iron Maiden way where you play a terrible album, but then you finish with like 3 or 4 songs.
Right.
That's okay, I guess. I mean, that still feels rip-off-ishy, if that's a word, rip-off-ishy. But it doesn't feel as bad as just playing nothing but, track 7s.
Exactly.
So interesting to say the least. So,
well, we played some Zeppelin there for Jackal in the chat room, and a band that, when they came out, they had a strong resemblance to Zeppelin, and that would be Kingdom Come.
Yes.
And we lost a friend this week. James Kottak. Passed away under circumstances, fell and hit his head, I guess.
That's the rumor. I have not seen that officially. I've seen it from somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, that type
Yeah,
of a
of course.
thing. So, yeah, that's what I heard. He was at a party or something, fell down, hit his head, dead.
Yeah.
But again, that's 1,000% rumor at this point.
Yes. Just from what people say they witnessed.
Yeah.
So, but strangely enough, James Kottak was born in Louisville, Kentucky, and he died in Louisville, Kentucky.
Which is very strange for a musician.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
just like you talk about full circle. Holy shit.
Yeah. You know, it was sad. I mean, it's all sad. And we like James. And, you know, I always messaged back and forth with James on Facebook. I didn't know him super well.
Yeah.
I think you knew him a little better
He was
than
on
me.
the show here with us.
Yeah, he was on the show.
And, you know, he always would send me a message through LinkedIn. You know, he would always send me a birthday greeting or just make some kind of comment or something like that.
Yeah, he was always a nice guy.
Very nice guy.
But it was sad in a way, more sad than just the death itself. That quite literally every single person that posted their little tribute on pick a site started with, "It's sad news about James Kottak, but I can't say that I'm surprised." Every single post, except for the only one that I think kept it classy and did not say that was the Scorpions as a band. The
Right.
Scorpions, Facebook, Twitter, wherever it was, just said, you know, they loved him as a guy and they're sorry to see him go. And, you know,
Well, you know, there was something out there. I think it was like Blabbermouth or something about a year ago, back in 2022. And it was friends are worried about James Kottak.
yeah.
And Stevie Rochelle had piped in, and Robbie Crane had piped in, and different people piped in and were voicing their concern for him and his well-being and his, you know, betterment. Because, you know, there's no secret that he was struggling with alcohol, mostly, from at least that's all I know about. And that's the reason he lost a Scorpions gig way back in 2016 after being in the band for 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years. Gave it up for the booze or
And then
whatever.
I had read, you know, where I was going back and reading some older stuff, and, you know, they had interviewed James about losing his gig with Scorpions and basically learning that they had already brought Mickey D in to start working with the band without him even knowing it.
Right.
You know, they
They said that to me.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where you heard that was on when I interviewed Mickey D. When I interviewed Mickey D.
Well, this came from James, you know.
Okay.
He was saying that, you know, when he was in rehab after he got the boot after getting out of hand over there in the Arab Emirates
Right.
and missing the flight or something like that, he got detained or something, didn't he? Something like that.
I think he did, yeah. I think he had some problem like getting either in or out of a country.
Yeah, he got detained, I think, and, you know, Scorpions had shows to do, and they had, so he you know, went to rehab, and he, you know, Scorpions had a half a dozen dates or a dozen dates, I think in 2016 or something like that. And he was just like, yeah, I'm getting healthy, you know, I'm trying to get ready for this tour. And he said the Scorpions kept telling him, no, you take it easy, just stay in rehab, just stay there, you know, don't worry about the tour, don't worry about these dates coming up.
Right.
But they had already made that decision that, you know.
Yeah.
You're
Jacqueline, the paid chat, asking, was he ever on the show? He's on the show a few times.
Yeah, he's been on the show.
We've done a couple of interviews with him, I know. And we also had him on, was it Billy McCarthy when he was in
When
studio?
Billy McCarthy was here, he called his house, and he was still married to Athena.
Yeah.
And James was on the phone, and Athena was on the phone, and Krieger was on the phone.
Yeah.
Everybody jumped on the phone for a couple of minutes, and
Yeah, we heard him jumping in the pool in the background and stuff.
exactly, you know. So, yeah, it's sad. I mean, you know, obviously a talented guy holding down the Scorpions gig for 20 years because, Scorpions, they're very, 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 they're German for one thing. So they're very, very business.
Yeah.
It's all business.
Sure.
And if he was a fuck up during those 20 years, he wouldn't have been in there 20 years.
Yeah.
So he kept it together, and something happened there.
Well, he did fall apart because then there's that video. Then he got back with Kingdom Come.
Yeah, well, that's because there was nothing else for him to do. He lost his Scorpions gig, and it's like, well, what am I going to do now?
But there's that video of Kingdom Come playing like really slow because James was.
Well, that's when the article came out about friends are worried about James, and
right.
It was just a horrendous performance that they did, and it's like, oh boy, what the hell's going on there?
Yeah, it was bad. I know we had Keith, me and Eric had Keith St. John on, and we asked him about it. We watched the video. He's like, oh, that's the first time I've seen that. Ooh, didn't need to see that.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me when our good friend Stephen Piercy and Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
That was not good.
No, I mean, it happens. Look, these guys, and I'm not trying to forgive it. It is what it is if you overuse your drugs. But, it's not, in real life, it's not as available as it is in rock star life. In rock star life, they throw the drugs at you as a way to get in. A lot of times.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's just a way to get in. And then once you get in, then the shrewd drug dealers see it as a way to make permanent money.
Sure.
And they take advantage of that. And it's a tough road out there, People forget the whole thing about that these guys are kind of lonely. Take Kottak as an example. He's in a German band. So basically, none of these guys have the same upbringing, the same stories to tell, the same anything as him.
Yeah, plus they're, older than him.
Yeah, and they're older than him, so they don't even have the same, timeline culture as him. And, and he's out with them, 18 months? A year? At least a year. Scorpions are always fucking touring.
Mm-hmm.
So, he gets lonely or whatever. And then some guy's like, hey, bro, let's do a couple lines and fucking party. Okay, cool. Let's do it. Next thing you know, you're doing it every day.
Yeah.
So
what once were vices now are habits.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That Leonard Skinner.
That is Leonard Skinner.
Mm-hmm.
So
sorry to see James Kottak go. I mean, just all accounts, everybody that I've seen make comments about him is they've always commented on, what a nice guy he was.
Yeah.
He
was always nice to me. He was always nice to you, I believe. So,
yeah, all the time.
And I will give him credit where credit's due and where the industry won't say shit about it. Good for him for standing up to these fucking cocksuckers in the government with their fucking vax bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Good for him. He stood up to that when everybody was telling him he was a piece of shit for standing up against it.
Yeah, well, again, he was a man who had nothing to lose, though.
Yeah, well, he did have stuff to lose, and he did. He lost his gig.
Well, he didn't lose his gig because of that.
No, but could have.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't. I know he didn't.
He got booted in 2016.
Yeah, that's true. He could have lost his, I don't know. He might have had an easier time getting back into another gig.
Maybe.
If he was not political MAGA guy.
And I get that. I get that. But the truth of the matter is he was at a point in his life where he had nothing to lose.
Yeah, I think he was kind of out of control.
Because he was already lost everything at this point.
Yeah, he was fairly out of control, I guess, when COVID hit. COVID fucked up a lot of people. I wonder if he's one of those guys that it just fucked his brain up.
I think he was just in a downward spiral since losing his Scorpions gig.
That could be. I mean, that's
because it's just like, wow, because that was a big gig.
It's a big, healthy, consistent paycheck.
Yeah.
And
to lose that, and then of course, he and Athena were divorced, and he had kids with her, and
right.
or a kid, I guess, and she had kids from a previous marriage.
Right.
But regardless of that, I mean, that's a tough pill to swallow when you
Yeah,
get
it is.
bumped out of one of the biggest legacy bands out there.
Yeah.
You know,
And you got to eat your balls in front of public. A lot of public, because Scorpions is huge worldwide, not just US wide. It's, all over the world. Scorpions are a much bigger band outside of here. They're big here, but they're, in Europe, they're fucking Metallica level, aren't they? They're like still a huge band outside of here. So it must have been a big, a lot of weight put on him.
yeah, he was getting back to his political views. Back in 2019, he said, "I wrote a new song. Get out of my country. Stay out of my space. We don't need any more outsiders. We can't even fix the homeless problems. When the homeless problem is solved, we can take care of everyone else." Then he went on to Twitter and said, in 19 again, "You know what I'm sick of? Every other commercial having interracial couples. This is not reality. It is Hollywood shoving it down our throat. I don't have one friend or friends who live in this category. Just saying." Then he said, Kottak went on to say, "Okay, so the percentage of Black Americans in the U.S. is about 13%. So why are they represented 50 to 60% on all commercials?"
He's not wrong.
It says, just call me out if you have a reasonable argument. A short time later, he added, "Maybe none of you have the balls to speak the truth."
Again, he's not wrong.
Yep.
He's definitely not wrong there.
So he was outspoken once he was outcast anyway.
Yeah.
So it was just like, well, what do I got to lose?
Yeah, he was on the canceled list, so he went for it, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's just like, well, what can you do to me now? I've already fucked my career.
Yeah. Well, it's sad to see him go. I definitely was definitely a little bummed. I mean, as you should be, but somebody it always sucks when dude, just more and more. The older we get, more people that we know just fucking dropping dead.
Yep.
Just sucks.
Yeah, he was he was born exactly a year before me.
Is he a Christmas baby?
December 26th,
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
1962.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, rest in peace, brother. I know he's up there jamming with Dimebag and Lemmy.
Brian Badass Boone.
Brian Badass is walking him to the stage right now.
Right.
I do love when people say that nonsense. I'm sure he's jamming up there with Lemmy, man. Shut up. Shut it.
So anyway, just thought I'd make a little tribute to James Kottak.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a loss in our world.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely. Well, dude, let's stay on European metal for a minute, just because I saw this, and people are saying I'm wrong, and that's fine if I am. But did you see this story? I'm trying to find it real quick. So Accept is getting ready to go out on the road.
Okay.
And for some reason, the second guitar player, whoever that guy is, I don't even know his name, but he's not going to be touring with them for whatever reason.
Now, who's really left in Accept aside from Wolf Hoffman?
No one.
That's it.
Yeah, it's Wolf and a bunch of other guys.
Yeah. Mark Tornillo, which obviously
Yeah.
is not the original guy.
Yeah. So it's Wolf and other guys. But they announced the guy that won't be in is Phil Shouse, Shouse, Shouse. I
Okay.
don't know how to say his name. I don't know the guy. I don't know anything about the guy. He's probably okay. I mean, Accept sounds good, so I'm assuming he's okay. But I found this to be just strange. And not because the guy isn't talented. He's super talented. He just doesn't seem the part for Accept. Fucking Joel Hoekstra.
Well, he probably doesn't have anything to do right now either.
Yeah, but I mean, does he seem... I mean,
Does he fit the image?
He doesn't fit the image at all to me.
No.
You know, I know he can play. I know he's a great player.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to say that.
I think I interviewed him on the show.
Yeah, I've interviewed him too. He's a nice guy, super
Very
nice
nice
guy, and fucking talented beyond talented. Whether it's Whitesnake or TSO or wasn't he in Cher at some point? And I think he was in Night Ranger. I mean, he's been in a bunch of big bands, so he's obviously talented.
No, he's a gun for hire.
Yeah, but again, the names that we're naming: Cher, Night Ranger, Foreigner, Whitesnake. Except it just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joel Hoekstra is going to be playing these festivals, European festivals and South American tour. And all right, call me conspiracy guy, but I'm going to call the shot right now. I'm going to say he's the new guitar player of Accept and that this Phil Schaus guy is going to be out. That's my prediction.
All right.
That's usually where this kind of thing goes, isn't it? You
Typically,
get a bigger name.
Yeah, typically.
You get a bigger name guy, and as long as he's okay with, you know, the peanuts that you're feeding him, he'll stay in.
Yeah, and again, Whitesnake isn't doing anything at the moment, so
Yeah.
you know, so you might as well grab a gig and make a couple of bucks.
Yeah. And as long as Accept doesn't tour during TSO season, I'm sure he'd be happy to do it. Make his money, tour. You know, I mean, he's tried with the solo thing, but that hasn't taken off. The Hulkstra 13, you know, that hasn't like launched into full-time money, I guess. So, yeah, I just saw this and thought, man, that's such a weird guy to be in that band.
Well, I guess it, you know, from an image standpoint, I guess image doesn't matter if he's got the chops to, you know, play the Accept music.
Yeah, which he obviously does. I mean, the guy can play. So, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting.
It's the Wolf Hoffman band.
It really is at this point. You know, I'm trying to think if there's any other. I really don't have a whole lot tonight. I don't, dude. Speaking of bands, though, I don't know if you saw this or not. I'll have to look it up and find it. Did you see who appeared on Howard Stern this week? I think it was this week, unless it's just an old clip that's just floating around, but I'm pretty sure it was this week. This is really surprising to me. One of your favorites, The Cult.
Oh, really? Yeah. I wasn't aware of that, but okay.
Yeah, let me find this real quick. Howard Stern, The Cult. And I will say they sound pretty good.
Now, what you know, the whole Howard Stern thing is so weird these days, because they're, you know, these bands, these guests, they just have to show up to an empty studio at Sirius, and then Howard's at his house, and Robin's at her house, and Gary is at his house, and I don't know where Fred Norris is. I don't know. Is he in Florida too or somewhere?
Dude, I have not listened or watched it.
I haven't either. But I mean, so basically when these guests come in, they basically come into a studio and they sit there and talk to screens.
They talk to screens and probably some intern helps them set up. But and then Howard's on the screen going, "Oh, this is great. We got the Cult here."
Yeah.
But dude, the Cult are not doing anything. What are they doing?
I don't know. I mean, do they have a new album, or are they touring, or?
And you know, I'm plugged into this and I have no idea.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they just happened to be in and Howard had nothing else going on.
Maybe.
And they just like, hey, you guys want to come in and, you know, kick out a few songs?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, they're just in a empty performance studio and they're on a video screen. And
that's Ian Asbury looking for Howard.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like, so where are you guys?
Yeah. So would you like to hear it?
Yeah, I'm always interested.
They sound pretty good, actually. I'm not a fan.
I know you're not a fan.
So if I'm saying they sound pretty good, they probably sound amazing. But I didn't think they sounded bad at all. So,
okay.
All right. So here we go. Here's The Cult on Howard Stern.
Happy birthday. This is She Sells Sanctuary, just for you.
Self-sanctuary.
Now, don't worry. He starts here, but he gets to the voice.
Okay.
He's definitely doing the 7:30 in the morning kind of warm up.
He's doing the warm up, and then she sells sanctuary.
Yeah, he gets to the high notes. It just
Right.
I was a little taken aback when I heard this the first time as well. I was like, wait a minute, what is this spoken word fucking U2 sounding bullshit? But he gets there.
All right.
And those hits that touch in my back bottom, the smiling in your eyes keeps us alive. The smiling in your eyes keep us alive, keep us realize we're the world. The world turns around, the mile trail. The world tracks me down forever.
Not bad, right?
Yeah, Billy Duffy sounds just like he did.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
That is pretty funny. I was wondering what's up with those pants.
Yeah, those pants are fresh out of an MC Hammer video. Anthony hit it on the head there, but
Yeah.
and I don't know why he's wearing his coat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's-
got a big bulky Michelin man coat on or something.
Yeah, he's wearing his coat too, which is kind of odd, but all right. Here's a little more of the Cult on Howard Stern.
You just hits a town. Shawty made my back bust when I said sit down. Made my back bottom, baby.
Now, would you recognize him if you just saw him?
Who, Ian Asbury?
Yeah.
As he's right there?
Yeah.
It'd be tough to recognize him, with the slick back hair and the, obviously he's put on some weight.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely looks different. That's for
Yeah.
sure. So, yeah, because I was watching, I was like, man, does the Cult have a new guy? But then he started singing. I was
Well,
like, nah.
even Billy Duffy. I mean, if you go back to some of the music videos from the late 80s and stuff, I mean, Billy had like the longer blonde hair and,
Sure.
now he looks like a mountain man
Yeah.
with the big beard and, the
Right.
dark hair and shit.
Now, what was Billy Morrison? He was the original bass player. Is that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I'm interviewing him like in a month. He's doing.
I
he
mean,
has a solo record.
the cult has had a revolving door
Right.
players over the years. Obviously Matt Sorum was the drummer for them before he joined Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. Before this porn actor joined.
But yeah, because the cult toured with GNR, and when GNR gave Adler the boot, they had already played with Matt,
Right.
and tapped him as a new drummer for GNR.
Right.
So that's how he got that gig.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that like the two guys are like the core, right?
Yeah, Billy Duffy
Duffy
and
and
Ian
Ian.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I don't know who these two guys are. This guy.
Well,
and this guy.
they're always revolving door
Yeah.
players in the rhythm section.
Yeah, they're
always.
just guys. They're
They
just guys.
just, they just change them out all the time. I
Right.
wouldn't know who those two guys are.
Would you go see this?
Yeah, of course. I'm a fan. I like the cult. I
When's the
I've
last
seen
time
that-
you saw him?
It's been a while. Let me see. Where did I see them last? I think I saw them at the House of Blues
Okay.
a few years back. But
I don't
but
remember. Did you like or hate that last record that they did?
It was okay. It was medium.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't dislike it. It just didn't stand out for me. I was just
Came
like,
and
oh,
went.
okay. And of course, Ian was, this is the best thing we've ever done.
Right.
It's the best thing we ever done.
Yeah, I remember
I don't
that.
know, man. It's tough to top Sonic Temple or
Ceremony.
or one with wildflowers on it.
You're gonna have to solve that yourself because I do not know anything about that. I'm surprised I knew Ceremony.
Yeah, that's the one where they got in trouble with the Indian tribe for using that, Indian boy on the cover.
Right.
They got sued for the image. So, yeah, that's where I got that Matt Sorum ID, was because I saw them at the Agora. The guy drumming is my cousin.
Sure.
So yeah, I saw those guys at the Agora back when they reunited with that Sonic Temple lineup.
Right. Who is that, Brian? Is that Ian Plume or is that Tempesta? Who is that guy? I don't know who it is. I'm curious now who the drummer is. Let me see here.
Who's the drummer today in the Cult?
The Cult band. Let's see. Do they have a wiki? I'm sure they do. Yeah. Wikipedia. Yeah, it's John Tempesta. No shit. Wow, he looks totally different now.
Yeah, they all look different.
Yeah. All right. Good call. The Cult as they are put together today are Ian Astbury, Billy Duffy, John Tempesta, Charlie Jones on bass, and
oh yeah, Charlie Jones.
yeah, you got all his stuff, right? He apparently has a Grammy from something.
Okay.
I don't know from what, but and here's a household name, Mike Mangan. He's a keyboard player.
Okay.
He's known for something.
Well, maybe this is Howard's birthday show or something.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because he did say, "Happy birthday, Howard."
Yeah, well, it could be. Was he celebrating his COVID? What a fag.
The album I was thinking of, the Cult album, is Electric.
Electric, yeah. Hey, you want more of this?
Yeah, let's hear the rest. I mean, you're halfway through it already.
Yeah, let's go. Here we go.
Sparkle in your eyes keeps me alive.
birthday.
Yeah, I'm expecting him to break into Too High to Fly here in a minute.
So that apparently is his birthday show.
Okay.
So
Well, then Howard couldn't be there because he had COVID.
right. So
Poor guy.
Must have been, they must have been in town or something, and
Yeah.
they got invited in to come do that show.
Got it, because I can't imagine that Howard Stern is sitting around listening to Cult.
Nah, who knows? You never know.
I can't imagine that. They're way too low class for him. Dude, I wish I could get into the Cult. I have tried so many times. I've listened to those albums probably 100 times each. And I know it's good. Do you have any bands like that you know are good, but you just don't get it? It just doesn't resonate with you.
Well, it's one that we've talked about here on the show, King's X.
Yeah, that's another one for me.
They just don't do anything for me.
Yeah, and we know they're good. They're good at what they do. Like, I know that's good. I can listen to that and I'm like, yeah, these guys are super fucking talented.
And that's obviously they must be being pretty serious about their whatever it is they're doing right now, because they seem to have a Class A lineup right now. Mm-hmm. They got some top name people working with them.
Let's try and figure out what they're doing. Let's go to the bottom of the wiki page and see what they're doing.
I remember when they came out with their self-titled release back in, I think it was 94, and they were going to go out on tour. They were going to tour it, and this was back in the day when you still had to go buy tickets at the local Coconuts or the Ticket or whatever. And they were going to tour, and they were going to play there in the Cleveland area. I don't remember. Maybe they were going to play at the Agora or somewhere. And tickets were going on sale, so I got up, stood there in line at the Coconuts. Doors open. I go in. I said, I want Cult tickets, and the guy goes, "Oh, they broke up." I said, "What?" He goes, "They broke up." I said, "Are you kidding me?" And sure as shit, they broke up the day before.
No kidding. Wow.
And this would be pre-internet, so
right.
It's not like I would have known that. But yeah, he goes, "Yeah, they ticket sales because they broke up."
Wow.
It's like, oh shit.
That's pretty crazy.
Because they were on Rockline, and they were promoting the new record. It wasn't a very good record. But I just wanted to go because I was a fan.
Sure.
And they canceled that tour and basically split up at that point.
Yeah. I wonder if they're still touring this record, this Under the Midnight Sun, which was the last one in 2022. That would have came out during COVID. So yeah. Maybe they just didn't get a chance to tour.
So are they touring right now? Or are they out playing dates?
I'm not seeing anything on it. Let me try their website. The wiki's not telling me dick. Where is their website? Thecult.us. Thecult.us. Death Cult. Well, this is very up to date. Has dates all the way up to November 22nd of last year. Jesus. Well, let's see. Show tickets. They got no shows booked at the moment. Yeah, I don't know why they're on Stern.
Okay.
According to their website, they have no shows right now.
All right.
Nothing booked. And they have a picture of, of their tour dates, and they're all November and October of last year. So, I don't know. Would you like to remember the song from whatever the hit was from that last album? Give Me Mercy.
There was a hit.
It's their Boss Hitbound single, apparently.
Okay. All right.
Let's pull that onto the screen here. Let's see here. I'll use this. All right, there we go. Here we go. Here's the Cult, Give Me Mercy, from their 2022 hit album, Under the Midnight Sun. All right. All right, make some noise here. There we go. All right, I already hate this.
stolen my name in a wilderness love. You're so hard to tame in the tides of this world. You're a victim of fate. Give me mercy, love will find you. Give me mercy, a new language. I don't know.
I remember what I was saying a couple minutes ago about how I can listen to them and I can tell that there's a lot of talent there. This made me forget all that. This is not good.
Yeah, this is just too
Artsy.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with that.
Yeah, this sucks. This is not what I want from my rock bands.
Yeah, you just want straight ahead like Sanctuary song.
Yeah. You want a little more of this? Maybe it gets better.
Let's go to something more classic.
All right, enough of this bullshit. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah, that stinks. You're gonna have to tell me the songs because I don't know.
Well, let me see here. Let me pull this up real quick. I'll give you some recommendations.
Yeah, because the Cult is a band I do not know.
Well, that's because we've discussed this before that you don't like the Doors, so you don't like the Cult.
That's exactly right.
Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Hail and Kill, Neeley and Chris. This is Purple Hemikudo. What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up?
It's been a while. How are you?
It has been a while. How's it going, Neeley?
Excellent.
Hey, I just wanted to chime in with this. Hey, good to hear. Just wanted to chime in real quick to tell you that I think the reason why those guys were on the show is I think they're doing shows as Southern Death Cult right now.
So they're not being the Cult; they're being the Southern Death Cult,
which is what they were before they became the Cult.
Oh, is it? I don't know that.
Yeah, I think it's like the 40th anniversary of they did an album and a couple EPs as like they were Southern Death Cult and they were Death Cult. So
yeah, they were trying to be a punk band early on in their career, and then that wasn't working for them, so they became a little more mainstream and became the Cult. And with like when they started releasing their more hit songs, and getting some radio attention and so on and so forth.
So wait a minute. So hold on real quick, Perp. So they went on Howard Stern as Death Cult, but they played a cult song. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know because I didn't really hear the show. I just kind of saw it. They were on there, but
okay.
I'm assuming they're on tour as Southern Death Cult or Death Cult, and maybe they just popped in and said, "Okay, we'll do a couple songs as the Cult or something." I'm not sure.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah, I
mean, it's
don't know
because it's always been basically just Billy and Ian anyway. So I think they could pretty much fill in, with anybody else, and just call themselves whatever these days, and just do songs from any era.
Right.
I don't think their fans really care. Most of the people are just there to hear the Electric and Sonic Temple stuff,
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, that's again, this goes back to discussions we've had here on the show that a lot of these bands, the reason we even know about them is through the power of MTV. And they had their biggest era during the MTV video era.
Yeah, I mean, that's when I first heard of them. They got a little bit of traction on the album before Electric, which was Love, and they were kind of in a more kind of U2 kind of gothic rock mode, I guess college rock at the time, pre-alternative. And it got, they got some attention, but not big sales. And, I guess from what I've heard, when they were recording the follow-up to Love, they didn't like the way it came out. I think it was supposed to be called Peace. So somehow they got in touch with Rick Rubin and they retooled the songs as Electric. And if you hear the Peace versions of the same songs, they sound completely different. So he stripped it down to like this AC/DC kind of balls to the wall rock thing. And I don't think they're fans that they had before like that, but they just kind of rolled the dice and said, well, let's see what happens. Let's jump on this American rock thing. And that was it.
Very cool.
Yeah, if you want to find the video for Wildflower.
Wildflower? All right.
Yeah.
People in Rumble are saying
Yeah,
the
that's
Witch
a cool one.
too.
That's up there.
Do you know the Witch?
Chris, I was going to say real quick, if you don't like the Cult, if you're not like a fan of the later rock stuff, maybe explore their first couple of records if you're not too familiar with those, because they're a lot different. I mean, musically, they're not
Like what? Which
Like
one
what?
should I listen to? Because I mean, I've listened to like Sonic Temple and Ceremony and that stuff, and I don't know. I just don't like Ian's voice. Is really what it. I don't like Ian's voice, and the guitar playing to me sounds like a punk band, which I'm not a huge fan of.
Okay. Well, then you may not like it at all because you kind of can't really get away from Ian's voice, unfortunately. But he pretty much always sounds the same. But like Death Cult, Southern Death Cult, and then the first album is The Cult, which I think is called Dreamtime, and then Love. Love is really good. That's like probably my favorite record by them.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'll check it out. I've tried for 30 years to like this band. I just don't.
I'm like that with some groups too. There's some groups out there that the world loves, and I'm just like, I don't get it. But
right, who? Name them.
Well, like one I just said, like U2. I mean, I enjoy their songs. I mean, I like both Blue Sky. It's almost kind of Doors-like. But other than that, New Year's Day. I mean, MTV. I'd sit through it, but it wouldn't. Nothing I'd run out of my way to, to go check out. But according to at least magazines anyway, I mean, I don't personally know anybody that's really into U2, but it seems like the world is really like, oh my God, Bono, he's going to show us the way. And I'm like, I don't get it.
I'm with you. I get another band I don't get very much at all. I liked them a little at, Blood Red Sky. Under a Blood Red Sky was good, but that's about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll let you get back to it, guys. Hail and kill. Nice checking in. Take care. And fuck you, pal.
Yeah.
Well, hand job to you too.
Another band that I just can't get into.
Who?
Which are good. I've seen them live. We've had some of the members on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Extreme.
Yes, I like them, but yeah,
I know you do, but that's
one
of those bands that I just don't connect with.
Yeah. See, I get it with you. You're actually easy to figure out. If they sound too chickish or they act faggy, you're out.
Well, it's the songs and stuff. The songs just never resonate.
Those are chicky songs. I mean, think about it. Their big hits are what? More Than Words and Wholehearted.
Yeah, but I'm talking about even the other stuff like "Mom, I don't want to go to school today."
Yeah, that's a faggy song.
Yeah, I just want to go outside and play.
Or, hey, kid, ego.
Yeah, that's another one.
That first album blow. I love Extreme except for the first album. I cannot listen to that first album at all. Just sounds like something somebody wrote in junior high school.
Yeah.
But
and obviously they got great players.
They do. Oh yeah, they're definitely talented. So yeah, I don't know. I just know that they're exactly the band I wouldn't expect you to like, though. There's a bunch of those bands that are out there. Like I'll be honest, I'm surprised that you like stuff like a Warrant. I'm very surprised that you like Warrant because they have a lot of fruity songs.
Well, I think as far as like the Warrant catalog is concerned,
mm-hmm.
the only one that I really liked was Dog Eat Dog.
Dog Eat Dog, yeah.
The first two, the Dirty, Filthy, Stinkin' Rich and Cherry Pie, not so much.
Yeah, I can't see you sitting around listening to I Saw Red or Heaven Isn't Too Far Away.
wasn't a fan.
Yeah. What about like even a Poison? Were they too faggy for you?
Yeah, I didn't like Poison either. The only Poison record that I remotely even liked was Flesh and Blood.
Yeah. Everybody liked that one. Everybody at the time liked that record. It was the first time they didn't sound like a bunch of girls.
That's kind of why they kind of resonated. They kind of adopted more of a blues rock sound for that record.
Did you check out Native Tongue at all or no?
I did. It didn't really do anything for me.
I like that one. That's probably the one that I would
Never,
go to.
never was really a Poison fan. Obviously I've seen them numerous times, but I didn't go for Poison.
No. See,
You know?
I've seen Poison a zillion times too, and every time it was for somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, when I went to see them at Blossom, and I left after the third song, Damn Yankees was opening up.
Sure.
So I went there to see Damn Yankees, and Firehouse opened the show.
Right.
And they had no lights and no sound or nothing. They sounded like a tinny garage band.
Right.
So they got no production whatsoever. Then Damn Yankees came out and just blew everybody off the stage. And then Poison came out and turned everything up to 11. And it was like a roar.
Was that the stage where they had the poles and Brett was swinging around on the poles and stuff on the sides?
I stayed for 3 songs.
Yeah, I think I saw it.
And I couldn't take it because it was just so loud.
Right.
You couldn't hear it.
I think I went to that. Was that at Richfield?
No, that was at Blossom.
Blossom. Okay.
And it was just offensively loud.
Right.
You couldn't actually hear the songs. It just sounded like a loud roar.
What was the Damn Yankees show where at the end Ted shot a flaming arrow across the stage at a buffalo, and then some chicks came out and picked him up and dragged him off the stage?
They did that every night. Yeah, they did that every night. Yeah,
that was funny as fuck. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and then they were making fun of Dennis DeYoung.
Right.
They were like Tommy Shaw was playing the opening to Babe.
Right.
And Ted was like, dude, I think your guitar's out of tune. Give me that thing. And he would just smash it on the stage. So they'd have a throwaway guitar, and Tommy would come out and start playing Babe, and everyone would stop and like look at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Right.
Dude,
just as a real quick side note, dude, this just reminded me of this. I watched that just when I needed you most documentary that you recommended last week.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I'm sure you did. I watched all 3 parts, and I thought this is right up Chris's alley.
I loved it. The fans did not, though. I got a bunch of messages from our fans that did not like that documentary at all.
I enjoyed it.
I did too.
I mean, it reminded me. I mean, there was a lot of songs that they talked about and artists that they talked about that I remember growing up and hearing on the radio.
Right.
They were just all over the place, I literally haven't heard a lot of those songs in over 40 years. And I remember that song.
Right. The overwhelming theme that I got from the fans was twofold. One, they felt like every single band was led by people that you would call swishy and would hate. That was the first thing.
True.
And then the second thing that they all really hated was the announcer guy himself. Everybody, I must have got 15 messages from people saying, that announcer's a faggot.
Well, but that was the whole premise of the documentary is we were getting in touch with our feelings,
right?
And that's what that whole thing was about. And it was, if you watch the documentary and what it was covering the making men soft.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And expressing their feelings and their love songs and stuff. And that's what that was about. And then came marching in the
hard rock.
Yeah, the hard rock, the testosterone driven, music of the 80s, and of course the movies that come out, the tough guy movies and stuff as a backlash to that.
Yeah.
So yes, they're absolutely correct. It was very swishy time in our history.
It was.
But it was selling a shit ton of music.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those were one-hit wonders. I mean, most of those artists didn't have like multiple hits.
Right.
Each artist had one big song.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of English Dan and John Ford Coley's or Randy Van Warmers of the world that were up and gone in like 32 seconds. in
Yeah,
that
like,
time
you know,
frame.
the Terry Jacks of the world.
Yeah, or even Rupert Holmes.
Yeah,
I mean, ultimately, Rupert Holmes had what, 2 songs? Him and Pina Colada, or the Escape song or whatever.
right. Yeah, Pina Colada, Escape.
And how did he get away with Escape? The song basically said, I put an ad in the paper so I could cheat on my wife.
Yeah,
I got an answer. I went to hook up with this bitch, and it was my wife who was cheating on me.
right.
And we laughed and laughed about it. It's like, what? Somehow there had to be a punch thrown. You know, I just watched that, and I know the words to the song, obviously, like
I was
everybody
tired
does.
of my lady.
Yeah, I mean, the song is literally, I hate this fucking bitch.
Yeah,
So I put an ad in the
we've been
paper.
together too long.
Yeah, I put an ad in the
I'm
paper.
just like, she doesn't do anything for me anymore.
Yeah, I'm done fucking her. I need somebody else. So I
Yeah,
put an ad in the paper.
Yeah, well, the singles ad, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't say he was married. He just called her his lady.
Oh,
So it could have been his chick, his
even if it
girlfriend.
was his chick, he's so dissat. Who stays in a relationship while advertising in print
Well,
for another person?
Well, people do it all the time.
Do they really?
Ashley Madison.
Yeah, but they're defunct. But
it's still the same premise.
yeah, that's true. I don't know. It just seemed very weird to me. That song is universally accepted by every 60-year-old woman on the planet.
Yeah.
They all love that song. You know, dude, how many different things did they show on that yacht cruise or whatever? And they were all singing fucking Escape. You know, they were all singing Pina Colada.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of like the culture of Jimmy Buffett with the
Yeah.
what's in the
Parrot Rock or whatever.
no.
Yacht Rock?
The name of the song. The
Pina Colada? Escape?
Margaritaville.
Margaritaville, yeah.
Same thing. Same vibe, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I personally enjoyed it, but the fans were not thrilled with that documentary.
Yeah, but you got to look at it for what it was really saying. And, you know, yeah, it was a faggy time. And yeah, it was, I mean, but the thing is it existed. You know, it was an era in music that came and went, and it comes full circle again.
It's absolutely back.
You know, so, but it's a historical thing. You have to look at it from a historical context as to what was going on in the world. We were emerging from the Vietnam conflict.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we were looking to mellow out.
Yeah, trends and styles were changing. We were moving into the disco era.
Yeah,
which that was really faggy. I mean, if you watch
that Studio 54,
I mean, you look at all the fruitcakes over there. Jesus Christ, you know.
But did you not like any disco music? Just the music, not the style. Like you didn't like any Bee Gees or anything?
Not really.
So I was okay with a lot of disco, like the Tramps and stuff. I like that stuff.
The Burn Baby Burn.
Disco Inferno. I had all those. I had the Tramps album. I remember listening to it at my grandmother's house. When we would visit my grandmother, we would stay in what, as a kid, was my mom's room. And my mom, kind of eloped. She just skipped town and left. It came to Ohio from Rhode Island. So they never changed her room. So it had, her stereo from, the 60s or the 50s or whatever, however old it would have been. And I remember listening to the Tramps album on her record player that was in the room. My grandmother had flashbacks that my mom was back because she hated my mom's music. And here I showed up at 13 years old or whatever, 10 or however old I was, with the Tramps record. And I was listening to it. My grandmother was horrified.
Yeah.
How can you listen to that?
Right.
And I was like, well, my mom lets me. Oh my God. She learned nothing from this home.
The only Bee Gees song that I could say that I listened to, and there was only one reason I listened to it, was because Chicago played the horns on it.
Okay.
Tragedy.
Tragedy.
Yeah. That's the
Tragedy.
Chicago horn section playing on that.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Bee Gees. I know that makes me faggier than faggy, but whatever. I like the Bee Gees. They were entertaining.
Well, again, it's not like hardcore. I'm a major fan. I got their T-shirts and everything.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of a fan.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, I like it. It's a guilty pleasure. I'll put it on and listen to it. Sure, why not?
I have no problem throwing on the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack and listening through it, or the Bee Gees' greatest hits.
Well, I've said it before on the show. One of my guilty pleasures is Quarterflash.
Oh yeah,
And I've been listening to Take Another Picture this week, the album Take Another Picture.
right.
And I just dig it. I just like Quarterflash.
But see, they're not faggy.
No, they're not. But they're not hard rock either. They're just kind
Sure
of
they were.
They're a pop band.
Quarterflash was like hard pop, though. See, that fits you. Let me find "Hard in My Heart" because that's a pretty hard song. Like as far as the guitar and for pop.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to say it's I'm not trying to say it's metal
No.
by any means. I'm not
But
saying
I like horn-driven bands, a lot of horn-driven bands.
Sure.
So, obviously that Randy Ross could really bang out the sax,
Mm-hmm.
She could play real well, and obviously she sang real well. She was a great singer.
But they were a little more rock certainly than the Bee Gees. I mean, come on. Here we go.
Crying on the corner, waiting in the rain. I swear I'll never ever wait again. You gave me a word, words
See, it's got like that driving beat. See, that's okay. That's kind of rock.
Yeah.
Soft rock, but it's rock. Dude, did I ever tell you about my Quarterflash story?
No.
If you didn't think I was a faggot before, here we go. So, my job, I had 3 basic jobs when I was in high school. I worked at a church, cutting grass and weeding flower beds and whatever. Then I worked at the Brown Derby loading trucks, and I've talked about that before.
Sure.
In between, though, I worked at a place in the Streetsboro Plaza called A&F Garden Gate Florists.
Okay.
And my job was exactly what you think, putting together floral arrangements and
Okay.
stuff. Used to take those green bricks of like styrofoam
Yeah.
shit,
And you'd have to stick the plants in.
stick the flowers in it and arrange them and make nice arrangements.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're like the night at the Roxbury.
it was a real gay job. And I tell you what it was good for, though, was my girlfriend Beth that I had in high school. I brought her flowers damn near every day. And man, there were a lot of blowjobs that came out of that job.
Chicks love flowers. I've given out a ton of flowers over my time.
Sure. And I'm telling that story so I don't sound so gay, but whatever.
There's always an ulterior
There
motive.
is. But working at this job, the guy, I think his name was Matt or Mark or something. I think Mark. The guy that I worked with that was kind of the owner, Mark. This guy couldn't have been more flaming if he was sitting in the middle of a bonfire. He was the first ever truly gay person that I ever knew. And I mean, he was gay. Like the rainbow hitting him from both sides gay. And he was always like, oh, that flower arrangement is so lovely, but you've got to put some more yellow in with the red. I mean, like, ugh, like creepy gay. But his favorite band was Quarterflash. And he played whatever the name of this album is that Harden My Heart is on.
It's just the self-titled.
He played that on a cassette over it every day. Flip just kept flipping it over every 30 minutes or whatever that the one side of it was. All day. Like we would work, I would work after school. So it was like from 3 to 8 or something, 3 to 7. And I would hear this album 4 or 5 times every single day. And I'm going to be perfectly honest. I always thought that these guys were like a gay band because he listened to them all the time. And he was so flaming. And, you know, and always his boyfriends would come in and whatnot. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, my goodness. Are we going to the ball tonight? You know, I was like, oof, just really, as a 13-year-old, 14-year-old kid or whatever, it was really horrifying. But yeah, I always thought that Quarterflash was a gay band until you told me you liked them. And then you told me that they were not a gay band.
No, it's a couple.
Yeah, and I had no idea.
Yeah.
I literally thought these guys were like the Human League or bands like that. just Frankie Goes to Hollywood, just a fruit band.
Yeah.
But no, Quarterflash.
Yeah, they played that big US festival in San Bernardino.
Did they in 83?
Yeah.
That's kind of a weird lineup. Quarterflash and Van Halen and Motley
Crue, Van
Judas
Halen,
Priest.
Judas Priest, yeah. They were on there.
Quarterflash.
I think, yeah. So let's see who all played that. US Festival lineup. That thing was huge.
Yeah. That was like the original Live Aid type thing with just everybody playing it, right? But it wasn't like was it a benefit or was it just a concert?
No, it's just a big concert.
Okay.
Let's go to the wiki here. Well, there's a lot of bands played there that weren't all hard rock.
Okay.
Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, put this thing together.
Right.
So this is who was on there for 3 days. Gang of Four. I'm not sure who that is. Ramones, The Beat, Oingo Boingo, the B-52s, Talking Heads, and the Police.
Wow.
Saturday, September 4th, Dave Edmunds, Eddie Money, Santana, The Cars, The Kinks, Pat Benatar, Tom Petty, Grateful Dead, Jerry Jeff Walker, Jimmy Buffett, Jackson Brown, Fleetwood Mac. Let's see, where was this? This was some other show. Now this is the one for the US Festival. This was over Memorial Day.
Okay.
Weekend. So Saturday, May 28th, was New Wave Day.
Okay.
So the Divinals, In
I
Excess.
Touch Myself, right? Is that
Yep.
the Divinals? I Touch
Yep.
Myself?
Yep, she's dead now.
Is she?
Yeah, she passed away like a couple years ago. Wall of Voodoo, Oingo Boingo, The Beat, Flock of Seagulls, Stray Cats, Men at Work, The Clash. Then you had Rock Day, Los Lobos, Little Steven and the Disciples, Quarterflash, Berlin, Missing Persons, U2, The Pretenders, Joe Walsh, Stevie Nicks, and David Bowie.
It's a pretty good lineup.
Yeah. Then Sunday was Heavy Metal Day. Quiet Riot, Motley Crue, Ozzy Osbourne, Judas Priest, Triumph, Scorpions, and Van Halen. And then there was Country Day.
Country Day. Wow.
Yeah, they had the Thrasher Brothers. Don't know who that is. Ricky Skaggs, Hank Williams Jr., Emmylou Harris, Alabama, Waylon Jennings, Riders in the Sky, and Willie Nelson.
Wow. Boy, that must have cost a fortune back
I know.
then.
That was a lot of top talent there.
Yeah, that's like all the big bands of the time.
Yeah. And strangely enough, a good portion of these bands are still around.
I know. I was listening to that. I was like, God, you could almost do that Heavy Metal Day now. Most of those guys are still active. The only one that I could think of that's not is Van Halen, because Eddie's dead.
Yep. David Bowie's gone. Stevie Nicks is still out there. Joe Walsh is still out there. Pretender's still out there. U2's still out there. Missing Person's still out there. Berlin's still out there. I don't think Quarterflash are doing anything these days. I think they're doing just local gigs up in the upper Northwest. Little Steven's still around.
Yeah.
In Excess.
Flock of Seagulls.
Yeah.
We saw that. They're still killing it.
Yep. Quiet Riot. A version is still around. Motley's still around. Ozzy sort of still around.
Yeah.
Judas Priest, Triumph, not around anymore. Rick Emmett obviously doing stuff. Scorpion's still doing it, and Van Halen is defunct now.
Yeah.
So most of these bands are still doing it.
Yeah, they're still doing it.
Yeah. That was 40 years ago, and they're still out there. They're still playing. 83.
It's crazy.
Pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, it is.
All right, you want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break, and then I'm gonna do what I did last week.
Okay.
Next, I'm gonna bring back, and I'm gonna thank ahead of time if he's listening, so that he can. I know he'll want his credit. I'm gonna thank CMS Michael.
Okay.
For bringing back a segment that we have not touched in at least 10 years.
Really?
Yes.
When he was still a wee lad.
Yes, when he was a youngster. He probably laughed and laughed when we covered this this next topic. And he pointed it out to me, and you won't believe this until you hear it.
Right. All right, well, I'll let you pick a tune to take us out of this segment. So what should we play?
Oh, let me find my handy-dandy list of stuff. Let's play something we have probably never played before. How about the River Dogs with the song Spooky? That was that Vivian Campbell's band?
Yeah, River Dogs.
River Dogs?
Yeah. What was the name of the song?
Spooky, from the self-titled record.
All right, I got it. All right, we're going to play a few tunes, come back, do the sponsored segment of the show. So here it is. It's River Dogs exclusively here
on your classic metal show.
In the ever-evolving world of music, artists need to reach their audience faster than ever before. Introducing Too Immersive for You, the Emmy-nominated pioneers in viewership experience. We've revolutionized the way music artists share their material with the world. Our groundbreaking AI engine generates stunning visuals that bring your music to life. Imagine having your own personalized music video, perfectly synchronized to your unique sound in a matter of hours, not weeks. With Too Immersive for You, it's now a reality. Get ready to unlock a new dimension of music visualization. Too Immersive for You, where music meets immersive visuals. Contact us now to discover how Too Immersive for You can elevate your music to new heights. www.musicvideoai.net.
Do you want to watch the classic metal show all day long? Do you have a Roku? If your answers are yes and yes, then you need to get Wowza TV on your Roku. It's free to install and brings you the classic metal show on your TV 24/7. Just look up and install Wowza TV in the Roku streaming store, and you can enjoy the CMS all day and night right on your TV. Yes, folks, this includes the live editions of the CMS as well. Install Wowza TV now on your Roku and never be without the classic metal show again. Hail and kill.